Can you see how we have managed to transform this like hot pink eye look, which looked like it just was not going to go anywhere unless we took it off and we're not going to be able to cover it, to this kind of like really deep maroon eye look, and you can't even see the pink, you know, like where it was initially right at the top here. And here we are with another educational beauty video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can transform one eye makeup look into another eye makeup look that looks completely different. I can't wait to show you this because honestly it's so simple and so easy. I know you guys can do it. Now if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos, and head over to my Instagram if you want to see some reels and some unboxing. Now let's head straight into the video. Have you ever been in a situation where you've done your eye makeup, now you're going to go out in the evening or a bit later on in the day and you don't want to really have the same makeup on? So I'm going to be showing you how you can transform one eye makeup look to another very easily. I don't want you guys to think that you have to wash your makeup off or like cleanse it all and do it all from scratch again. If you don't have time and if you have more than one event throughout the day, like maybe you've got a wedding to go to, maybe there's like just generally several events that you're going to because you're super in demand and busy, then this is for you, because I'm going to show you how you can take this look, which is quite colorful, and you kind of look at it and think, there's no way I can transform this into something else. I'm going to have to take this off and restart. You don't have to. I'm going to show you how. So we're going to start off with some concealer. So I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape, and this one is my 35N medium, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand like that, and I'm going to go into my 228 brush from Zoeva. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of like swirling the brush around onto this concealer. You might need to go into some more concealer in a bit, but we'll just try and make do with what we have at the moment. This pink is kind of like a cream pigment, so it isn't an eyeshadow. You know, sometimes when you use powder eyeshadows and you try and rub it off and it's just like, it just looks like bruised then at the end. So this is a cream pigment, so it's actually a bit harder to get off than eyeshadow. I'm going to show you how. Now we're going to go in with this concealer and we're going to actually go along, not onto the lid, but just this top area here, you know, where you have your brow bone. We're going to start swirling this over it. Now can you see how that's already kind of like totally cleaned up that area? You've got to make sure it's a very well pigmented concealer, otherwise it's really just going to end up looking pink. I mean, it still does look very slightly pink, but it's not as bad. Now this isn't about completely kind of taking all this off and then restarting. This is really about trying to utilize this same color but make it look completely different. So can you see how that's really nicely kind of like faded in now? Now we don't have that pink all the way up into the brow bone. Now I'm very lightly using this brush. So what I'm doing is using the tip and very lightly like circle motions, just like circling it over. And you might need to redo just the bottom part of your brow. It depends how much you kind of like shade it in. But we're going to go in with a little bit more concealer over to the other side and do the same here. So I'm literally just kind of like swirling it around, circular motion movements. So we're keeping some of that pink there, you can see. We're not like totally getting rid of it, although you could if you wanted to be fair. We're kind of like keeping it like this because I want some of that pink in there. I just want it to like, just want to change the look. I just want to transform it into another look. Now what I'm going to do is get hold of my powder. I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Banana Bread powder. I'm using my Real Techniques brush and I'm just like basically going to press over this concealer with this powder. There you go. So now that's not kind of like creamy, it's nice and set. I am going to very quickly just redo the bottom part of my eyebrows because that's just really going to bug me if I don't. So I'm just going to get, this is my Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil in number 4. I'm just like drawing little hair strokes. I'm going to grab my Sigma E75 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Vintage from my Tarte Amazonian Clay eyeshadow palette in Gilded. I'm just going to like press into that. And first off, I'm going to go just on this underside of my lower lash line and just add a little bit there because I feel like this really kind of like brightens up my eye area, just opens it up, and yeah, it looks nice. Now I'm going to use my finger, I'm using my little finger It's my little finger and I'm just pressing it into that gold. I love this color. And now what I'm gonna do is apply this on the inner part of my upper eyelid, but not close to my lash line. So I'm just gonna press it a little there. Don't worry if it's not kind of blended in. I love this eyeshadow palette because it is just like almost like a gel formula. These eyeshadows are like almost like gel. It's really weird. Okay, I'm gonna get my other little finger and do the same thing here. Okay, this is my 230 brush from Zoeva. Nothing on this brush, and I'm just basically gonna touch the edges of this gold. Just the edges, and just kind of like move it around, just like blend, I'm not really going back and forth. I'm just making sure the edges don't look harsh. So don't worry if it goes a little bit onto the black or like whatever you have down there. I'm just kind of like putting it into the lash line a little bit now. I'm gonna get my Sigma L04 brush and I'm gonna go into the shade Jazz, and it's like this really deep kind of purple maroon color. And I am gonna kind of do a little bit of, that's not even come out right, through my mouth. I'm gonna do a little bit of a kind of like graphic eye. I'm gonna just apply this just at the end. Now the reason I'm using such a small brush is because I really wanna get that precision. I'm kind of like putting it into that kind of dark eyeliner look that I've got along my lash line. It's such a deep color and it goes really, really nicely with this gold shade that we've got on. Now, what I'm doing is really, really small movements. I'm kind of deepening that liner that we have there, just deepening that whole kind of end of the liner. It's not really liner, it's like a pencil blended. And I'm going to do very, very small movements, moving it up into the lid area. But what I want it to look like is that there's this really nice smoky eye just coming out. So I'm just doing very small movements. Do you see how this color goes really nicely with that pink? Because it just looks like the pink is actually a faded part of this, because this is like a deep maroon shade. I'm just very lightly kind of just going back and forth. I'm not rubbing her, I'm just using the tip of the brush, and we can go in with a thicker brush in a minute, but this just gives me that precision. See, look at all that now. That looks so nice and kind of like just a really nice look. So we're gonna go in with another brush. I'm using my 230 brush now. I'm gonna dip it once into that like deep shade, and this is where we're really gonna like go into where that original pink was, and it's gonna look like it's just fading out from this. So it's not gonna look like it's a separate kind of color. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the same on the other eye. So we're kind of like going from the liner up into like creating that last quarter of the eye, creating a really nice kind of thick, smoky eye at the end. Actually, this precision with such a small brush that helps us to achieve like such a sharp finish at the end, but also making sure that it doesn't look so kind of all over the place. Because if you go in straight away with a big brush, then what happens is it ends up kind of like going into areas that you really don't want it to go, and it's hard to keep control of that, of how big it ends up going, if you see what I mean. See, now that we've done that, we can now go in with this other brush and just perfect it. Can you see how we have managed to transform this like hot pink eye look, which looked like it just was not going to go anywhere unless we took it off, and we're not going to be able to cover it, to this kind of like really deep maroon eye look, and you can't even see the pink, you know, like where it was initially right at the top here. So there are ways to be able to change your look. If you feel like, okay, I've got an eye look and I really want to wear this in the morning and I want to wear this in the evening, just think about how you can change it without having to take it all off. There is a way. Sometimes I feel like all we need is a little bit more faith in ourselves that we can do it. Sometimes we look at kind of things and we think, there's no way I'm going to be able to change that. You don't know that. And honestly, I have thought the same thing about myself sometimes, when I'm, especially with makeup, if I'm on shoots and things like that, and it's so like fast paced, it's like you need to get things done now. Sometimes it's like we need this black smoky eye, and then we need it to be a supernatural look. It's not always directed in the correct order that would work well for a makeup artist, but you know, we have to, you kind of learn to improvise, or like just use what you have and think, how can I change this without this completely ruining it? And sometimes when you're doing it, you're kind of like, oh my god, this is not working, but then it just comes together. And it's the same thing for anyone, even if you're not a makeup artist, just to approach it in a different way. If you're wearing a black smoky eye in the morning and you want to change it over to something which is nothing like that, then think about how you can change it to a different color. Like black is pretty easy in the sense that you can layer up other colors and it will show up. If anything, it will make a gold look even more gold. It will make a pink put on top of it even more pink, depending on the texture. So think about the texture of the makeup that you're using too. So I really do hope that this has shown that you can very easily change it over. Now we've got this really nice feline look, which is a bit more kind of evening. The one before was very kind of like bright, vibrant. You could wear it during the day, you could also wear it in the evening, but it's very kind of like nice and colorful and just fun. And then this one is very kind of like feline, and it's a bit more of an evening look. I hope this has been helpful to you, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments box below. Don't forget, I have some amazing kind of like discount codes for you. They're all in my description as well. Like we have Wind Skincare, we've got Wind Glow 25. That's, I think you get like 25% off with that code. And then we've got Sigma Beauty. So a lot of the brushes that you see me using are from Sigma. That's Nina Ubhi 10. So you get like 10% discount off that. Also, you got Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sounds. That just didn't come out of my mouth. That's like the really nice music that you hear over this, because I've noticed a lot of you have been asking me like, what music is that? What song is that? So it's from Epidemic Sounds, and you get the first month free when you sign up with them. So it's well worth it, because you don't have to worry about like copyright, anything. Once you've signed up with them, you can use whatever music you want on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and you don't have to worry about anything. You can just type in any kind of mood you're in, and it's great for vlogs, great for YouTube. So yeah, just wanted to remind you of those, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you have the most blessed, productive day. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and you've seen just how simple it is to transform one look to another. Now, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.